Welcome back,
Worst intro ever. We are not going to edit this one out.
Welcome back, everybody. That was terrible. I got a frog in my throat.
We're going to keep it real here and just leave it alone.
Hey, sometimes stuff happens. Life happens, right? And you're trying to start off your podcast on the right foot, and you cough.
This is real life, man. Real life. It's the way it goes.
One day, we're going to get a cough button here that'll basically save us a lot of time editing.
A cough button? What is that?
Yeah, it's a button that'll mute your mic in case you have to cough, sneeze, or...
I have it. I can turn the sign off. Watch. Nobody heard you. I shut it.
A true cough button would be sitting in front of me because this isn't my first podcast. I'll be fully transparent. I've been part of many podcasts.
Okay.
Many big podcasts. This isn't the only number one podcast that I've been on.
Is that right?
That was a lie. This is the only number one podcast that I've ever co-hosted in my life.
Hey, I had a safety call with a new driver today, and I was telling him about the podcast, and I was really embarrassed telling him about the podcast.
Why? Why? How many other safety professionals have their own intra-company podcast?
I did mention to him that we were the number one Bob's Transportation Podcast. Number one, undefeated.
It's very important that we keep that message out there because I did get a warning when I was at DC3 this week. One of their drivers is saying, hey, maybe if I get a microphone, I can start my own podcast.
Ooh.
And my response was, why would you want to have the number 2 podcast at Bob's Transportation?
There you go. Do we have a clap track that we can use? I don't know.
I bet you we do.
We do. I don't know which button it is. So,
you want to just hit one at random and hopefully you get lucky?
All right. I'm going to try a random button on the machine. We'll see what happens.
Hit the button.
That was not it.
That's not what we were looking for. I was maybe looking for a...
I mean, there's a lot of buttons. They're not labeled. Hey! That was terrible. That was full volume.
Wait. We just upped the production value by 10%. I mean, we've got buttons with tracks now.
We've always had these buttons, by the way. We just don't push them because
they don't know that.
We're not real podcasters.
Our 4 listeners don't know that.
They know now.
You ruined it. You killed the illusion.
Ah, well. Somebody's got to be a dream killer. Anyways. Rough week. How's your week?
Busy.
Yeah, it's been busy. Yeah,
it's going around. It's everybody getting ready for the holidays, and everybody going into our stores saying, "Hey, we need this, and we need it before Thursday." Yeah, and we're full disclosure. We are recording this pre-Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're still pre-Thanksgiving, I guess. Yeah, I mean, we never know when these are going to air because we don't actually put them out in order. But yeah.
No, but we are speaking right now in pre-Thanksgiving terms, and then we've got Christmas right around the corner.
Man, where did this year go?
I don't know, but it's well behind me.
Jeez. The wife's really upset with me today.
Why now?
Full disclosure, we don't go out to dinner much. Like we don't do date nights, stuff like that. And so she made me promise her a nice dinner at a restaurant yesterday. And so I'm leaving work, and it was a hectic day, and there were some last minute calls that I had to take and stuff going on, in the transportation world. And so, boom, I take off, and she's sending me a text. Hey, I'm already en route to the restaurant. I'm like, I'm still at work, but don't worry, just go there, grab the table. I'll be there. Not a big deal. And so I'm heading over, and wouldn't you know it, on I-55, dead standstill.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I didn't plan for it, though. Turns out there was this huge accident, right? So police, fire, maybe helicopters, planes, trains, I don't know. Anyways, so I'm watching the time on my GPS just continue to tick up and up and up, like the ETA keeps growing. And so she's now seated at this table, and I'm still driving over there. And she's texting me nonstop, and I'm like, oh, man, not my fault. I'm stuck in this, big traffic backup. And finally she calls me. And she says, what is wrong with you? She said, we had this appointment, this reservation, and I'm at the table looking like, some lonely person because I'm sitting here by myself. I'm on my third glass of wine and nobody's showing up. And she's like, "You're late. Where are you?" And I said, "Well, I got stuck. I couldn't have known there was going to be an accident. I'm stuck here." And she's like, she was mad, really mad. And so I thought I was being funny. I said, "Well, in the DOT's eyes, I'm like, I'm logging adverse conditions. So I still got 2 hours to get there." She didn't find that very funny.
Womp, womp.
Thought I was being funny.
There was no exemption?
Not for me, apparently.
Well, let that be a lesson to you next time.
Yeah.
Next time, check traffic before you leave.
Yeah.
Or don't, but know that your wife is not going to accept adverse conditions as a reason as to why you're late for dinner.
I tried showing her my logbook. It did not help. I looked a little funny walking into the restaurant with a logbook, but not even home logs.
Why are you running paper logs on your way to Taco Bell?
Well, I do drive an older vehicle. I'm ELD exempt. Anybody knows
That's
me
for sure.
They can appreciate the fact that I drive a 20-year-old vehicle. So that's the truth. That's the truth. No lie.
He's very true. And he's also being very honest when he says that they typically don't make a big deal about going out to eat. So it's very surprising to hear that here. I'm glad that you guys made plans to go out, and I am sad that you had to use adverse conditions when you showed up late.
Well, when I tell stories, sometimes I embellish a little bit. So you can try to figure out what part of that story was true, what wasn't true. But what is true is that we are going to learn about adverse conditions today.
That is definitely true. And in order to get a little more information about adverse conditions, we have two special guests joining us on the podcast today.
There's a little bit to it. It's tricky. It's not for, you can't just use it whenever you want. So I'm glad somebody's going to help us talk our way through it.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of those things that you can get away with every day. But when you're well within your rights to use it, you are well within your rights to use it. And luckily, we have some guests here today that are going to talk a little bit about it and let us know when we can and can't use adverse conditions.
That is Mrs. Angelo not approved.
All right, well, it didn't get you out of a bind last night, but maybe it'll help our drivers out in the future, and that's why we're going to get them informed today.
Yeah. All right, so let's listen to the deep dive about adverse conditions, and we'll be back with you in a little bit.
See you guys in a minute.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're zeroing in on a really vital piece of trucking regulation, the FMCSA's Hours of Service rules.
Right, the HOS rules. Always important.
Exactly. And specifically, we're going to unpack let's say, significant exception. It's the adverse driving conditions exception.
Ah, yes, that one comes up quite a bit. It's crucial for anyone in logistics, trucking, even just people interested in how goods move. It really impacts safety and efficiency when, things don't go as planned.
That's a great way to put it. Now, most listeners probably know the basics for property carriers, the 11 hours driving max inside that 14-hour shift.
And the ELDs, the electronic logs, tracking it all, that's standard practice now for most.
Right. But today, our mission, if you will, is to really clarify this specific exception. The adverse driving conditions 1. What is it? When does it actually apply? And importantly, what are its limits? So let's think about those standard 11 and 14-hour limits. And then look at how this exception might offer a bit of breathing room.
Okay, yeah. So why does this exception even exist? I mean, fundamentally, it boils down to just how unpredictable trucking can be.
Right. It's not like driving in a lab.
Not at all. Drivers face, all sorts of unforeseen stuff out there.
Definitely. You could be driving along, clear skies, then bam, sudden blizzard.
Yeah.
Or, a wildfire shuts down the highway.
Or a big accident blocks everything. Things you just can't build into a normal schedule.
And these things can really throw a wrench in a driver's HOS compliance, can't they? Put them in a tough spot.
Absolutely. That's the core problem. If a driver goes over their hours because of something like that, they could face violations. But on the other hand, forcing them to just stop, maybe somewhere unsafe.
Or rush through hazardous conditions.
Yep. That's not better. So this exception, it provides some necessary operational flexibility right when it's needed most.
Okay, so let's get down to the nuts and bolts. What is this adverse driving conditions exception exactly?
So in essence, it's an FMCSA rule. It lets commercial drivers extend their maximum driving time and their on-duty time, but only when they hit specific qualifying adverse conditions.
So it acknowledges that Sometimes sticking rigidly to the standard hours might actually increase risk.
Precisely, instead of reducing it.
Okay, so what kind of extension are we talking about? How much extra time does it give?
The key part is this potential 2-hour window. That's what people usually focus on.
2 hours.
Yeah. The exception lets a driver add up to 2 hours to their maximum driving time, potentially hitting 13 hours instead of 11.
Okay.
And it also lets them add up to 2 hours to their maximum on-duty time, potentially extending that to 16 hours instead of 14.
So it affects both limits. That's important.
It is. Think about it. Those 2 hours could mean the difference between being stranded on a dangerous roadside in a storm
And reaching a safe, well-lit truck stop. Makes sense.
Yeah, a real game changer in a bad situation. The official reason is to complete the run or to reach a place offering safety.
Complete the run or reach safety. That dual purpose is interesting.
Very. It's not just about getting the delivery done. It's equally, maybe even more so, about driver safety when conditions turn bad.
Okay, that safety aspect is key.
They used the scenario of a sudden road closure because of ice.
Okay, icy road closure. Happens all the time.
Right. So under normal HOS, the driver might have to stop right there, maybe on the shoulder, maybe somewhere unsafe, and just wait it out.
Not ideal.
Definitely not. But with this exception, the driver gets potentially 2 extra hours driving and on duty.
So what could they do at that time?
Well, maybe they can find an alternate route. Or maybe it gives them enough time to get to a proper truck stop further down the road, or even perhaps to safely return to where they started if that's the best option. Gives them choices.
Okay, so it definitely sounds like a useful tool for drivers facing those, unexpected problems.
Yeah.
But there have to be limits, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It can't just be a free-for-all like, oh, traffic's bad, guess I'll use my extra 2 hours.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really crucial. There are specific conditions that must be met. 2 main limitations, really.
Okay, let's break those down. What's the first big one?
The first condition is all about the original plan. Was the run ever going to be possible within the normal limits?
So the initial feasibility.
Right. You can only use this exception if the trip, under normal conditions, no ice storm, no big crash, could have been finished within the standard 11 driving hours and the 14-hour shift.
So if the dispatcher gave the driver a run that was always going to take, say, 12 hours of driving on a perfect day,
then encountering some fog doesn't suddenly let them use the exception to cover that extra hour plus 2 more? No.
Gotcha. It's for recovering from the unexpected, not for fixing bad planning.
Precisely. It prevents the exception from becoming like a loophole for schedules that were never compliant to begin with.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So prevents misuse based on the original plan. What's the second major limitation?
The second one is about foreseeability. Could you have known about the problem beforehand?
Foreseeability, okay.
The FNCSA rule says the exception only applies if the adverse conditions were not known or could not reasonably be known to a driver or dispatcher immediately prior to beginning the duty day or immediately before beginning driving.
So it really has to be a genuine surprise.
That's the heart of it. If the driver or their dispatcher knew about it beforehand, maybe there was a major winter storm warning plastered all over the news before the driver even clocked in.
Then they can't claim the exception when they run into that storm.
Correct. The idea is if you have advance warning, you're expected to plan around it. Adjust the start time, find a different route, maybe delay the trip. You can't just ignore the forecast and then rely on the exception.
So it's not just about what the driver personally knew, but what could have been reasonably known. Like an objective standard.
Exactly. It's about reasonable expectation and planning. You can't claim ignorance if the information was readily available.
Okay, so no claiming the exception if you drove straight into a hurricane that was forecast days ago.
Precisely. It has to be genuinely unforeseen at the time the driver started or just before driving commenced.
Right. So let's try to summarize this exception then. The key takeaway for folks listening.
I think the bottom line is this. It works only when 2 things are true. 1, the run was originally possible within normal HOS limits, and 2, the bad conditions that caused the delay were truly unexpected, something neither the driver nor the dispatcher could have reasonably known about before starting out.
Okay, that's a clear summary. Original feasibility and genuine surprise.
Both have to be there.
I can imagine drivers having stories about this, like times that really helped them out.
Oh, definitely. I mean, think about sudden blinding fog rolling in. That exception giving you time to crawl to the next exit instead of just stopping blind on the highway, that's potentially life-saving.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a really helpful deep dive. It's clear this adverse driving conditions exception offers, vital flexibility.
Much needed.
But it's definitely not a free pass. It comes with very specific strings attached regarding how the trip was planned and whether the problem was foreseeable.
Absolutely. And, stepping back, this rule really highlights that constant balancing act in trucking.
How so?
Well, you've got these crucial safety rules on one side trying to prevent fatigue, keep roads safe. But on the other side, you have the sheer unpredictability of driving thousands of miles across the country. Weather, traffic, road closures.
Right. Reality versus regulation.
Exactly. And this exception is one way the system tries to bridge that gap.
So a final thought for our listeners then. As you think about this, consider those complexities. Moving goods safely, efficiently. It involves juggling safety rules with the messy reality of the road.
Yeah. How do regulations like this, with their specific exceptions, try to strike that balance? It's definitely a lot to chew on, balancing safety, efficiency, and the human element in a dynamic environment.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
If you don't say hit the button, I don't hit the button. You got to.
All right. Well, the button has been hit, and we're back. That was. We're gonna come back a little bit more calm. I tried to start every episode with a big "Hey, welcome back, everybody." This time was a little bit of a disappointment. Got a frog in the throat, so we're gonna play it safe from here on out.
Why are you bringing up old stuff? They forgot about that already. You're bringing up the.
Psych, they turned it off already.
Nah, that's not true.
No, they're still around.
I know 3 people that religiously listen. 2 of them are in this room, but
well, then I know the third.
Yeah,
we have some fans. They always text when we have giveaways and contests and things of that nature.
Otherwise, we don't hear from them.
Maybe you don't.
I'm not as popular. I'm not the fun one on the show.
You're just too busy. So what are some key takeaways from that deep dive we just listened to?
Certainly you can't use it for when you're late for dinner with your wife. That does not fly in the regulations. But I think the key takeaway is you cannot have known about a situation in advance, right?
Yeah, as long as it is a surprise to you, go ahead and use adverse conditions. But if you wake up and you say, hey, I'm going to start my shift at 4:30 p.m. every day, knowing that there's going to be rush hour traffic, can't use that adverse.
Can't use it. No. I like the way they put it, surprise, right? Because I did not used to relay the message that way. I like the word surprise, right? It's got to be surprise.
It has to catch you off guard.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
It's got to be something, everybody watches the news every once in a while. And even if you don't watch the news, you're getting alerts constantly on your phone. If there's a storm coming, you know it. Everybody knows it's coming.
Oh, like weathermen, they bank on that though. Like they put it all like this. They tell you about storms 8 months before they're going to happen, just because they can't. What other job can you go to where you can be wrong all the time, you still get paid, and people want to hear from you?
Well,
a weatherman. That's it.
Yeah, no. I was
got it,
thinking.
man.
I was
They've
going to
got
say
that market pegged.
safety professional and transportation, but no, you
No,
got to be.
no, you pretty much got to be right there. Yeah, that's not a lot.
Yeah,
because
if you're wrong, then you're in trouble.
No, weathermen, they hype up those storms, so they're
knock on wood.
That's fake wood. That's not even right.
Oh no, now I'm in trouble.
They're always talking about storms, so it's not like we don't know what's coming, right? We know it's coming. The word surprise, I like that they put it that way. The surprise element is what makes it.
Thank you very much to our special guests for all that awesome information.
Yeah, they did a good job. Good. What are you doing this weekend? What's Alonso's plan? I want to deep dive into what makes you tick over the weekend. Let's get personal. It's just me, you, and a million of our closest listener friends.
Or 4. Well, just so everybody knows, this is kind of going to give away when we are recording the show, but this weekend we're going to go watch Wicked.
Oh, okay.
And on Friday night, unlike you, me and my wife go out to eat all the time.
My wife and I, but just...
Not where I come from.
I'm not trying to correct you, but I am.
Not around here, but no. Me and my wife are going out to dinner on Saturday.
We're
gonna go. We're gonna go check out a restaurant in the city called Oakville, and I've heard it's really, really good.
You don't even know the name. How do you know it's good?
Well, I don't want everybody to find out where I'm going to be at. They're going to show up and want autographs.
This show will be distributed after you've been to Oakville something or other.
It's just called Oakville. Okay. It's got great reviews, an amazing wine list.
I wish you the best oak. at Oakville something or other.
Yeah, we can edit that out too.
No, I will. We will be cooking at home this weekend.
What are you cooking?
We picked up chicken breast today.
Is that chicken breast for all weekend or just one day?
I don't know. I'm gonna see if we can. I'm hoping, knock on wood, my wife doesn't know this yet, but I'm gonna pitch the idea that I'll make things really busy on Sunday, so like I'll keep her distracted so we don't cook. I hope she doesn't listen to this. Who am I kidding? She's not listening to this. Yeah. But I'm gonna push Mexican food. I would like to have some Mexican this weekend, so we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, hey. Get out there, get you some Mexican food, or
Life
as
is
my
short.
mother calls it, food.
Good point.
And with all that, we bid you adieu.
All right, everybody, have a good weekend when you get to it, and we'll see you on the next one.
Keep it safe, everybody. New buttons.